That's right, the stash is back. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Z-Man Show. In just a few days, the Switch 2 Direct is happening. This is rumored to be one of the biggest console releases of all time, and it's easy to see why, seeing as the Switch was one of the biggest ones as well. And while we know obviously they're going to be talking a lot about the system itself, the hardware doesn't sell itself, it's the games. So what do we think is going to be shown off during the Switch 2 Direct? First, I think is pretty obvious, is the next Mario Kart. Whether it's called Mario Kart 9 or something else, it was already shown off in the Switch 2 reveal, so it's a pretty safe bet that it's going to be in the Direct. And the biggest thing, what kind of gimmick it's going to use. Mario Kart 8 had anti-gravity, Mario Kart Wii was the first one with motion controls. What are they going to do this time? This is just me hoping for something, not an actual rumor. I have heard nothing about this, but something that people have talked about before is wanting more Nintendo characters in Mario Kart. I don't think they'd want to change the name from Mario Kart to like Nintendo Kart, but who knows, maybe we'll see some first appearances from other Nintendo characters. Since Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe, we've been seeing other characters from other Nintendo properties other than Mario. You've got Inklings from Splatoon, you've got the Animal Crossing villager and Isabelle, and last but not least Link, so who else could show up? I'm excited for that prospect. Next, something that doesn't really have any concrete evidence that's showing up, but probably will, is a teaser for the next 3D Mario platformer. It has been since the launch year of the first Switch that we've gotten an original 3D Mario platformer. That being, of course, Mario Odyssey. Now, whether the next one be Odyssey 2 or just a brand new 3D Mario, which I think is more likely, it's time. And just like last time, I think it's probably going to happen the same launch year. Another thing I was assuming was going to happen during this last Direct, which actually everything I thought was going to happen in this last Direct didn't happen because that Direct sucked, but I think we're going to get some new footage of Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Looking at the overall game, giving a release date, and also specifically taking a look at the Extreme Gear. We haven't really gotten a whole lot of new information since the beta came out, so I'm sure Sega would love to get in on the Direct. Now, since this Direct is specifically about a new Nintendo console, maybe they're not going to do that, maybe they want to keep it to just Nintendo strictly, but as a third-party publisher, it wouldn't really hurt, I don't think. Now, one thing that isn't technically a new game, but I think is going to be a very big part of the Direct, has to do with the discovery of the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of certain games. During the presentation of the digital Switch cartridge program, I still don't understand what that's for. The fine print on one of the images said, compatible systems must be linked to a Nintendo account to use virtual game cards. Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 edition games can only be loaded on a Nintendo Switch 2 system. What is a Nintendo Switch 2 edition game? What most people are thinking is it's going to be an upgraded version of a backwards compatible game. So for example, Super Mario Odyssey might have an upgrade to its graphics and how it runs for Switch 2, and you'll call that the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of that game. I think that's going to be a huge part of what they're talking about during the Direct. Going through probably multiple games, but maybe focusing on one or two, and spending a decent amount of time on it, which honestly I'm really excited for. And finally, release date and price. I'm no analyst, so the pricing I can only guess at, and I've seen the rumors. Probably gonna be $399. I don't know. I hope it's not more than that. Whatever. I'm gonna buy it no matter what anyway. But the release date, that's what's interesting. There's rumors about release dates anywhere from between May all the way to July, and anywhere in between. There's actually a really interesting theory that Arlo went over in one of his videos over on his second channel. I would check that out. It's pretty convincing. But something that got me thinking of the release date was the hands-on events that are going on after the Direct. As I was perusing the new Nintendo Today app, I was looking at all the dates for the Switch 2 experiences, and the last one isn't until May 31st. All those were already announced, so everybody knows that. I didn't know that, but it did get me thinking, would they release the Switch 2 before those events were over? It's not like the launch is going to kill the hype or anything, but would it make sense to release it before everybody got their hands-on experiences? So maybe it's not coming out until at least June 1st. I mean, I hope not. I hope it's a lot sooner than that. I want to get that thing and I want to play it, but it would make a lot of sense for them to wait until after everybody's had their hands-on event. Now, there are some games that people are hoping for, but obviously there's no way they're happening right now. Like the big one, Smash Bros. Another one I've seen a few people talking about is Animal Crossing. And then while we maybe get a teaser, I doubt it too, the next mainline Pokemon game. Again, it's obviously possible they could talk about them, but I highly doubt they're going to announce anything new for those things. But going back to the Switch 2 edition thing, I bet they'll use games like that as examples. And I really hope they do, because catching a sea bass for the 800 millionth time would be a little bit easier if it was in much better resolution.